What's good, YouTube? It's your boy 2K here. I want to start this video off by giving a brief summary of the fights that took place tonight. You had Miguel Flores versus Chris Avalos at 126 pounds. And then you also had the Prince, Charles Martin versus Michael Marone at the heavyweight division. Now, your boy the Prince got that first round knockout, you know what I'm saying? He's back. Michael Marone, a journeyman slash bum who was highly touted at one point in his career. He had high expectations, but he couldn't fit the bill. You know what I'm saying? He came out aggressive. Nigga was all wild and shit. Charles Martin stepped back, hit my man in the gut. Michael Marone went down face first, spit his mouthpiece out, fight over. You know what I'm saying? Now, Charles Martin has been vocal about getting an Anthony Joshua rematch. My advice to him is, dog, slow your motherfucking roll. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and start walking, then proceed to a slow jog before we go into an all-out sprint. You know what I'm saying? If you decide to go into that all-out sprint before warming up, you fuck around and get your block knocked off again. Now this time it'll probably be in the first round instead of it being in the second. You know what I'm saying? Actually, you might get your block knocked off by any of the champions at the heavyweight division. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to get in there and possibly fight for that WBA regular title, because at one point we had two AARP card members and shit, you know, Shannon Briggs and Freza Kendo, you know, going for that title. But I think Shannon Briggs fuck around and knock your block off. Joseph Parker fuck around and knock your block off, dog. You're not ready for that, you know what I'm saying? Alright, and then in the main event, we had prospect Miguel Flores versus former IBF contender Chris Avalos. Now, I told y'all to watch these fights for a reason, you know what I'm saying? The main event was an excellent fight. Chris Avalos, again, a former IBF contender, he fought Carl Frampton in the UK at 126 for his IBF title. He was knocked out in the 5th round, but he was still a game opponent. And then you had Miguel Flores, who was actually the favorite in this fight. You know what I'm saying? The casinos had him winning the fight. A lot of pundits had him winning the fight. And he did look okay. He looked pretty good. You know what I'm saying? He knocked Chris Avalos down, but he suffered a cut. They stopped the fight. Chris Avalos takes the win. Now, Avalos climbs up the 126-pound ladder to put himself back in the contendership, while Miguel Flores, a highly touted prospect at the division, has suffered 2 straight losses. Now, let's go ahead and get into the meat of this video. This is going to be a what's hot and what's hot right now. News came out earlier, you know what I'm saying, that Deontay Wilder is trying to secure a fight for a WBC defense against none other than the Boogeyman of the heavyweight division, Luis Ortiz, number 2 ranked WBC contender. Now, they're trying to lock this fight down for November 4th at the Barclays Center. Now, one thing I want to say is I want to give props to Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? He tried to get Joseph Parker in there for unification. Joseph Parker ducked him. Everybody's ducking Luis Ortiz, and that includes Anthony Joshua. Luis Ortiz is rightfully the fucking WBA super mandatory. Anthony Joshua was told by the WBA before he fought Klitschko that if he wins this fight, that he has to fight Luis Ortiz. He will be his mandatory. Anthony Joshua has not even looked in Luis Ortiz's direction since that fight ended. Instead, he's trying to get the money fight in a rematch with a half-retired Vladimir Klitschko. So he's ducking Luis Ortiz as well. So I want to give credit to Deontay Wilder for actually going out there and trying to get these dangerous-ass fights, you know what I'm saying? At one point, we all criticized Deontay Wilder for his competition, and I'm one of the guys that criticized him, but I got to give him credit. Even if this fight don't go down, I give him credit for trying to make it, you know what I'm saying? Now, Jermain Stiverne is literally trying to cock block this fight. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not literally, but figuratively trying to cock block this fight. That would make him a homo, you know what I'm saying, if it was literal. But he is. He has hired Jay Prince and attorney Josh Dubin to handle his managerial affairs pertaining to him being able to uphold his mandatory status and not take any type of step aside money to allow Deontay Wilder to face Luis Ortiz November 4th. Now, Don King is apparently in negotiations with Al Heyman to get a feasible step aside money amount for Jermain Stiverne, but Stiverne is like, hell nah, motherfucker. I don't want your money. I want my motherfucking belt. Now, I made a video that's on standby. I still need to edit it. And I talked about how legacy has become like a third, fourth priority to a lot of managers, fighters, promoters, etc. A lot of the important entities of the sport, they don't give a fuck about legacy. And one of the reasons was because a lot of cats will have legacy defining opportunities in front of them, and they decide to take step aside money. So at one end, I gotta commend Jermain Stiverne for trying to uphold his mandatory status and not wanting to take step aside money. He wants his legacy defined. He wants that belt back. He wants to avenge his only loss, or I'm sorry, his second loss, but his only loss that kept him from remaining a champion, and that's against. But at the same time, as a fan, I need this nigga to step down. You know what I'm saying? I need you to pump your brakes, dog. You know what I'm saying? I need you to be cool, chill out, let the bigger fight go down. And that's just me as a fan. I can't expect this man as a fighter, right, to have the mentality of a fighter, something that I always want these fighters to have. I can't expect him to listen to me and to listen to the fans and be like, all right, I'll step down just to get the fans what they want. Nah, fuck that. Go ahead and get your legacy. But speaking from a fan, I want him to step down, you know what I'm saying? This is an excellent fight. Real talk, Jermain Stiverne probably shouldn't even be the WBC mandatory. And that's really what's been fucking irking me for the last year. I'm looking at the rankings. You know, Jermain Stiverne ain't done shit since he lost to Deontay Wilder in 2015. You know what I'm saying? He fought a journeyman in Derek Rossi right after that, and he ain't done nothing since. He was supposed to fight Alexander Povetkin, you know what I'm saying, for an interim, WBC interim title, which would solidify his mandatory position. But Povetkin bowed out of the fight. You know what I'm saying? Nigga got caught taking steroids so he could fight Johan Duhaupas. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. The rest is history. He still ain't done shit. He didn't fight anybody in place of Alexander Povetkin. Instead, he, you know, went to the WBC and said, hey, fuck that. I'm still the mandatory. He won that argument, but he ain't done shit. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't done shit to even be the mandatory, let alone keep the mandatory status. That's just real talk for your ass, son. You know what I'm saying? So, real, I mean, you shouldn't even be in the position. But, like I said, as a man and as a fighter, I gotta respect that he's trying to uphold his mandatory position. So hopefully, speaking from a fan perspective, hopefully he steps down so we can get this big ass money fight, because Luis Ortiz is well overdue at getting a title shot. And to be honest with you, I won't break it down now, but it is a fight that I see Deontay Wilder losing. Next, your boy Jermain Taylor, former undisputed 160-pound champion, right? He's in the news again. You know what I'm saying? This time he's over there biting his females. This nigga on some Marv Albert type shit. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Marv Albert is an old school pimp. You know what I'm saying? Yes, the Marv Albert that does the commentating for NBA, you know what I'm saying, and college basketball games. Yes, that Marv Albert. You know what I'm saying? NBC, CBS, I can't remember what fucking network Marv Albert worked for, but yes, that Marv Albert. You know what I'm saying? The Marv Albert that sound just like Kevin Harlan. Yes, that Marv Albert. He was a pimp. You know what I'm saying? He used to bite his bitches. Marv Albert used to bite his bitches. Now, Jermain Taylor's on that tip. You know what I'm saying? According to TMZ and Boxing Scene, Jermain Taylor was arrested recently because in an argument with his girlfriend, she tried to leave the home. Jermain Taylor then grabs her by her arm, bites her face, and bites her arm while trying to break her phone. Of course, police were called. Now Jermain Taylor has been arrested. Now, my thing is this. How the fuck does that happen? How does an argument like that, you know, pan out? I mean, is it like, hey, girl, I told your motherfucking ass to do what I told you to do. You need to shut the fuck up, Jermain. Nah, bitch, what I tell you to do? What I tell you to do? I can't take this shit no more, Jermain. I'm leaving. And what does he do? He grab her arms like, bitch, come here. Ah! You know what I'm saying? Is he hungry? You know what I'm saying? He on his Mike Tyson shit. This shit don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, Jermain Taylor has been an infamous figure when we talk about past respectable fighters in the sport. He's been an infamous figure in that aspect because just last year he got a 6-year sentence suspended for 3 altercations in 2015. Remember, he shot his cousin over an argument at his home. You know what I'm saying? He was at an MLK parade in Little Rock, Arkansas. This nigga started shooting in the air and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then he was at a mental institution and he snuffed a fellow mental patient. Now I can just imagine how that shit popped off. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bruh. What's wrong with this nigga, man? You know, I think Kelly Pavlik really fucked his head up. Kelly Pavlik, you know, Carl Froch, Arthur Abraham, I think they really fucked his head up. You know, he took some hellacious shots from those 3 big punchers, and I think it rewired some shit in his brain, man. He is completely out of it. My man needs a much needed psych evaluation. He needs some mental help. You know what I'm saying? It's sad, you know, I'm joking this shit, I'm clowning him, but it's still sad to see somebody of Jermain Taylor's status, somebody who is well respected in the sport. You know what I'm saying? And he's at an all-time low right now. Last time Jermain Taylor was in the ring was in 2014 when he won a controversial decision against Sam Soliman, and he claimed the IBF middleweight title, which in my opinion was a bullshit fight. Fight should have never went down. He shouldn't have been fighting for a belt because he hadn't done anything, much like I mentioned in the segment before with Jermain Stiverne. He hadn't done anything to get that title shot. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, he had killers there that would have knocked him out. You know, Golovkin, Danny Jacobs, they would have ended up knocking him out and taking his belt anyway. And the IBF belt is what Golovkin has right now, currently. So one of the belts he has currently. So I mean, it was a lost cause. There was no reason for it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But it's just sad to see, man. All right, YouTube, do what you do in the comment section. Be real. Let me know what you think about these topics, man. I hope Jermain Stiverne, like I said, as a fan, I hope he steps down and allows Deontay Wilder to take on Luis Ortiz. That's a fucking excellent fight. That's a huge fight that will be happening possibly at the end of this year. Do what you do. Let me know what you think. This is real talk for real fans. 1.